They know this. All righty, we're going to go ahead and get started. Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. I just want to point out one item before we start, and that is that tennis had more attendees than golf. Just saying. Oh, ouch. Where's my puck? All right, we'll see, Joe. You're on the hook now.
I was going to say you had a nice haircut, but now I'm taking it.
I tell you. Anyways, good afternoon, and thank you for taking time out of your day to join us for our annual golf membership meeting. It's nice to finally have an opportunity to stand in front of people, to not Zoom, and to see people face to face. So again, thank you. I do want to recognize those that will speak today. We have our governor, Mr. Wolk. Mr. Fogel, the associate governor, will not speak, but he's here joining us. We have Joe Domino, we have Jason Bagwell, and then we have our entire golf staff as well. So welcome. With over 20 months of, come on in, folks. It's upstairs. Maybe there's another 40 downstairs. Maybe you want to go check, Harvey. Are they? Oh, no. All right. Okay, I take it back. Golf is now outperformed tennis. Good job. Oh, goodness. All righty, folks. Let's go ahead and be seated. We'll start this again. I'm sorry for the confusion. I do believe we sent an email out with the location, but that's okay. All righty, come on, folks. Let's sit down. Okay. Well, once again, welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your day to attend our annual golf membership meeting. And as I said a moment ago, it is wonderful to actually be standing in front of people and not a teleprompter or a TV on Zoom. So welcome. I do want to introduce the Governor, Steve Wolk, Associate, Mr. Fogel, Joe Domino, our Director of Golf, and Jason, Director of Golf Course Maintenance, and the entire staff, as well as Mr. Slutsky, who is the Chairman of our Golf Committee. I do want to thank, we do have a few board members, but I just want to take 1 minute to thank the board for the support and the guidance through the last, believe it or not, 20 months of navigating this pandemic. I also want to thank you, the membership, for the support on behalf of the staff and for your support in helping us as well navigate through the pandemic. And I am very pleased to say that we made it through Thanksgiving without any cases. I'm going to say it very carefully and knock on wood once more, but let's remain vigilant. We have a wonderful season planned. We'd like to get through it without any cases. And again, I can't thank you enough for your support during the pandemic. With that, I would like to introduce Mr. Steve Wolk and let him tell you a little bit about our golf.
Great job, Mr. Spina. Number one general manager in this industry. We are extremely, extremely lucky to have him here. And I want to keep him here as long as we can. Later. Thank you for showing up for our annual meeting. As Craig said, last year we were talking into a camera on Zoom, and we had no idea who was listening or anything, but I did go back and look at it, so I know we had one viewer. I'm extremely, extremely proud to be part of this golf program here. We have the finest all-around golf facility, including our courses, our grounds, and the programs that we have here. I am the lead governor. Each board member, there's a lead governor to every committee and associate governor. I am the lead governor. It's made up of the golf committee is made up of our professional staff, our committee members, all of which are volunteers. They don't get paid. They got to put the time in, and they do it all out of the goodness of their heart. We have a lead governor and associate governor. At this time, I want to introduce the individuals that are responsible for the golf committee. On my left is Harvey Fogel, who's my associate governor. Charles Slutsky, who will give you a wave. He's our committee chairman. Runs the meetings, the agendas, and everything else all year round, and deals with whatever issues are coming up in between meetings. We have our entire committee here, I hope. I will announce their names. I'd like the committee people that are here from the committee to please stand up. Larry Burns, just all of you stand up and be acknowledged. You're all volunteers and you guys work very hard, regardless of what anybody says. Larry Burns, Andy Greenstein, Zena Horowitz, Kurt Carlin, Harvey Levine, Stu Roth, Neil Simon, Charles Slutsky again, and Betty Wolk. As you'll notice, we don't have many of the women here because they're out playing a golf tournament at Del Air. There's 20 women today representing Glen Eagles against 2 or 3 clubs, and hopefully it'll do very well. It's all part of everything we do here at Glen Eagles, and Glen Eagles has a reputation of not only having the finest grounds and the finest golf courses conditioning-wise, which our superintendent takes care of. There's none better. And all the inter-club things we do through the summer, we're looking at doing some more now during the season. Glen Eagles is at the top of the list. Everybody wants to come here and play, and they want to play against us. And we compete very well. We've got a trophy sitting down in our pro shop that's been there for a few years from South County that we've been the champions. So we should be very proud to be representing Glen Eagles at our golf. The golf committee has a mission statement, as do all of our committees. And I just want you to know what it is. Our mission is to ensure that a comprehensive quality program of golf play, instruction, and competition is available to members and guests. Committee members will make decisions based on fact and what is best for the majority of the golf members, giving no consideration to personal agendas. And that's our mission, and that's our guideline. And that's how we do the committee. We're always open to ideas and things from the membership. One thing about Glen Eagles, and I've been here a little over 7 years, and I'll tell you, if there's something you feel we need to do or we don't have here, you bring it up. And a lot of things, if the members want it, the club will do it. I'm going to give you some interesting facts about our golf courses that you may or may not know. We have over 180 acres of property that are golf. There's 100 acres on the west course, and there's 80 acres on the east course. This includes 23 acres of lakes on the west and 12 acres of lakes on the east. And I'm sure you all know where the lakes are because that's where a lot of balls are found. Our grass type on the west course, we have Tiff Eagle, Ultra Dwarf Bermuda, and our fairway and rough is Celebration Bermuda. On the east course, it's the same greens, Ultra Dwarf Bermuda, and our fairway and rough are Tiffway 419 Bermuda. We have 99 bunkers on the west course and 5 on the range. And we've got 45 bunkers on the east course. And they're in beautiful shape as well. This past year, we completed the construction of our new community maintenance facility. It serves not only our golf course department, but also our management offices, our landscaping, our carpentry, mechanical, storage, and basically everything required to make Glen Eagles look as beautiful as it is. So it's not just used as a golf course. And plus, we have storage here. We used to store a lot of kitchen equipment off-site, and we were paying monthly for storage facilities. We don't have to do that anymore. We have it stored here. Looking back over a year ago, like I said, this was a Zoom meeting. But if you all remember at golf, we have one rider per cart. We had to arrive no earlier than 20 minutes before our starting time, with masks on, and really no lollygag. We had to get ready to go and go out and play. It was very difficult for the staff to maintain the tee times and everything we needed with only one golf cart, and plus the attrition that it was using on the golf course put a big burden on the maintenance department. But lo and behold, everything was done beautifully, and they've maintained our courses fantastic. Well, now we're open for business as usual, as it used to be. You know, we have probably, I know golf, we have over 150 new members in the past year and a half. And those are a lot of people that have never had the chance to even play golf, let alone to enjoy the facilities of Glen Eagles. So we're very excited about what's going on now in the future. Plus all the returning members that are coming, you can see it's very exciting around here. It's been a year and a half or 2 years that we've been dealing with this COVID, and it's just been crazy. But now everything's looking great. Our golf courses are in the best condition as usual. Our entire golf staff are ready and excited to offer our membership the best that Country Club Living has to offer. We started the process just recently of the renovation of the East Course, the Victory Course, and it's scheduled to be done and finished in the summer of 2023. It's been 16 years since that course was done, and it's amazing how the staff, the maintenance staff, has maintained those greens and those fairways to the condition that they are. Like I said, we're the best, and that's 16 years, and that's over the lifespan of a golf course. Anyway, we're very excited about it. We will, as we always do, Mr. Spina will be scheduling focus groups throughout. We'll have we'll have Kip Schulte, the architect, come out and meet. We'll get drawings. We'll take feedback from our members, all different handicaps, all different men, women, and it's going to be very exciting. And I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you right now that I believe that once that course is done, we are also going to add a par 3 hole on every single hole. So you will actually have 2 golf courses in one. So you can go out and play your 18 holes, or you can go out in the afternoon and play 9 holes or 18 holes on a par 3. Have a skins game with your buddies. Go out with your spouse. Play 9 or 18 holes in the afternoon. It's a par 3 course. Every hole will be a different par 3 hole, and it'll be unbelievable. It's going to be very exciting. So we're actually going to have 3 golf courses here. We'll have the Legends and the Victory and the Mini Victory, whatever we call it. 18, no, the greens will be the same, the 18 tee boxes, 18 tee boxes. So I'm saying that officially here because I've been telling management and everybody that we're going to do that. So I hope we do it. Please, just a maintenance note, take care of our golf courses. They belong to each and every one of us, okay? This is our home. You know, you don't throw trash or dirt in your house. Pick your divots up. Fix a divot. Put the sand on there. Jason will probably tell you, you put sand on a divot in a week or 2, it's back to normal. If you don't put anything on it, it's a month. And you guys know what it's like when you land in one of those. Just take care of the course overall. Our staff will do everything on their end to make sure that everything is in great playing condition. You walk in and out of a bunker, walk in the right way, rake it. Don't leave your footprints in there. Also, please remember, post your scores, post them correctly, and post them in a timely manner. We have a handicap committee that's reviewing these things now. We're now over 80% of our membership are putting their scores in properly and in a timely manner, which is great because when we started checking, there were only 50 or 60% of our members were putting the scores in. It's very important when it comes to tournament play and some of the games that we play. Couple other items I want to mention that over the past year, our retail department has had a surplus of over $40,000 because you folks use it. Megan, who does a great job there. We have great product. You can get better prices here than you get anywhere. If you see it somewhere else, tell the staff here, you want a driver, get it from the golf course. We make 15% on it over cost. That's it. So the money goes to the club and it costs you less. And you've got the staff here to help fit you, and if there's something wrong, they can take care of it. Our golf course maintenance budget for the year is close to $3 million. From being on budget and finance and on the board for the last 7 years, God bless you, Jason has been on budget every year. He does what needs to be done. He understands the grasses and the weather here, and he's never, to my knowledge, has gone over budget. So that's your challenge this year, Jason. Tournament expenses, weekly tournaments that you play sixums, you play Men's Day, Ladies' Day. Close to $100,000 is budgeted for those prizes. So that's all coming back to the membership. So enjoy those tournaments. And when you get your $12, it's more than a sock, I promise you. But it adds up over the year. I haven't got to use it because my wife seems to get it before I do. There's always $3 left. I don't know. And we've budgeted for 45,000 rounds of golf this year. So, and that's more than we've had in the last couple of years. A couple other items about here is we have a golf staff of over 30 employees. That's in the golf course. And, I mean, that's in the office, in the retail, and in the cart room. How many people you got, Jason? 85? 41. 41 in maintenance. We got a fleet of 140 golf carts. I don't know if there's anybody that has that many. It's a very difficult process. You know, when we walk out here in the morning or whenever we're playing, those carts are lined up. Our clubs are in there. There's a towel in there. The carts are clean. I mean, it's an amazing thing. They do a great job out there for the amount of people that are coming out here. We've got our canopy for practice and lessons. We've got a men's 9 and 8. I'm going to take some of Joe's stuff, but he'll go back on some of it. We've got a ladies 9, 12, and 18 hole. The 12 hole ladies has just taken off. We started that a year and a half, 2 years ago before COVID, and they thought, no way, it's not something that's going to work, and it's been tremendous. We've got our men's South County, we've got our ladies Challenge Cup, and we've got a fantastic junior golf program. They've been doing clinics, the pros have been doing clinics over here the last couple of days for the holidays. You can see the young kids and young people, and everybody that's out there learning, and take advantage of what we have here. There isn't any better. You've all gone to other clubs. There isn't any better. There isn't any better. That's all I can say. All right, without any further ado, I'm going to introduce Joe Domino, who's our Director of Golf. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Walt. Just to give you an idea, as Mr. Walt was mentioning about clinics, yesterday we had our first one that we start on Wednesdays. And usually we have one from 9 to 10. Well, we had one from 9 to 10, 10 to 11, and 2 to 3. So we had 3 clinics yesterday. That's how much excitement we have. We like to have 8 people. We had 12. Then we had 12. And then we had another 10 for the afternoon. So we added more. We just take a little bit more of the range, but it worked out very well. I think, yeah, you were there. It was very nice. A lot of happy people. So it was very exciting. We look forward to many more of those. In regards to the sand, as Mr. Walt said, we do have a sandbox outside of the bag room. And we noticed that sandbox, how much the members are using by how much we have to call Tim Boggs, who's the superintendent of the Legend course, to refill it. So we know when you're not using it, you'll get an email to the members. So, okay, I'm going to start right from good afternoon, everybody. And I've got to read my notes. And welcome to what we think is probably going to be one of our best seasons ever. We would like to welcome all the new members to Glen Eagles and get ready to play some great golf this season. It has been an honor to be your director of golf. This is going into my 11th year. And I want to thank you for the great opportunity that I've been able to have being your director of golf. The past 18 months have been crazy, and I wanted to thank you for all of your efforts that you have worked very hard to make sure that we are all experiencing the golf and also staying safe. And at this time, I just want to introduce my staff who helps make our golf department a very successful and a great operation. So first, I want to Luke Frazier, who's our head golf professional. Luke, I'll just give you a little brief. Luke, being the head professional, has taken the 12-hole ladies to from like Mr. Walk said, from nothing to be, we didn't know if it was going to be successful, to they are probably at about 58 ladies that are on that league. And it's been great. So great job on that. Luke also does all the club fitting. He handles the backroom schedules, and which is interesting, and it works out very well. But for doing the fittings, he does all the fittings, works very well. He worked a little over a year and a half with TaylorMade and do learn the fitting program. So if there's anybody that knows it, he knows it. So if you have any questions in regards to if you need new clubs, shafts, heads, all the new product that is out there. Listen, there's many times where he's done a fitting and we sit there with him and he's told the person that, you don't need a new driver. It's okay. You don't have to spend, $45 for a new driver. But you know what? Sometimes it's a little bit of the swing. We discuss that, and it really makes a big difference as well. I want to introduce Brian Midget. Brian Midget, one of our professionals. Brian is our tournament coordinator. Handles the ladies 18-holers and the men's 18-hole leagues very successful. He also handles doing the 9 and 9s and the couples events, and been very great. He pretty much has worked very closely with Golf Genius, as you notice when we do our live scoring now. Brian has actually worked very closely with the company, which is run by some golf professionals who own the company. Brian has actually shared information with them in their seminar workshop and actually has added information to even make their product better because he's made some ideas to them. So kudos to Brian on what he's done with the Golf Genius. It's amazing that when we have South County here, some of the other clubs come here, and I know that you've seen with your guests that they're like, well, why don't we have that? And we're like, well, because you don't have Brian. So. He's not going anywhere. He loves it here. So, all right, Brian, congrats. I want to introduce Jake Gable. Jake is one of our other golf professionals. Jake, he handles, when all of our new renters, our new members come in, he handles putting them into the Chelsea system. He handles with the reoccurring request. He handles handicap situations. He handles the ladies 9-holers and the men's 9-holers. Does a great job. He runs, we got about almost 40 9-hole ladies. And the men's 9-holers, kudos, they've gone from 9 last year up here close to 16 to 20. So once again, it shows you how our golf is changing for this year. Our leagues have really gotten much bigger and successful, and it's not easy to try to fit when we've got 120 men at 8:30 going out, and at 10:30 we got to fit them in there, and we did it yesterday. So I also want to let you know he might have to take a few days off in end of March or April. They are due for their first child. So, welcome to our world, baby. And also, our director of retail, Megan Pendergraft. Megan has done a fabulous job with the golf shop. Megan, if you go into, just a note that I have, last year we had 386 special orders. To over 421 special orders coming in, and I mean, if you need it, I don't know. I've seen her on her phone, and you'll say something, she'll go right on her phone and she'll order it for you right. She's standing right next to you. And I think, and even Mr. Culver, there's been some things that she's like, you think you can't get? She'll find it, huh?
I was in another club and I took a picture of it. I'll go code that I want and I sent it to him. He's got it on me. I'll buy it somewhere else.
Thank you. And so Megan has some new staff. We have Brian, and I want to commend you. And we feel we've done a great job with moving Mike Finnegan from the bag room into the golf shop. Mike's our new full-time staff member of the shop, and he is a great guy, right? Thank you. And him and his new bride are also expecting the end of March. So it's an employee meal. Thanks, Chef. So Megan, congratulations to you and your staff. You know, some things that we see every day here, and one of them being the driving range. The driving range, we have, we try to get 20 spots on the driving range. We average around 18. Usually they're 9 feet apart. We try to go 10. We used to have, when we went through COVID, we were at 15 feet apart with only 12 stations. But right now we're back to our standard, and we are averaging around 20 to 25,000 range balls per day. It's when you do a full setup of golf balls on the range with those pyramids, there's 284 balls in a pyramid. We'll do 5,300 balls in a setup on an average morning, and we'll reset that range in an average of 5 to 6 times a day. So, I mean, those guys are trying to crank out there. And as you notice, when we go on the mats, one of the things is because we have so much activity on the driving range, you know, we will be on the mats, which we have the best mats that money could buy. They are the best, they're great, and we have to do that just so we can try to save the turf throughout the season. So I know that everybody feels that when you hit off the mats, it really helps you hit it straighter. I don't know, I see a lot of balls this way. You feel like it does, so good, that's a good feeling. But we appreciate your patience on that, because we do need to do it to help Mr. Bagwell and his team save that tee so we can get through the season. They are very good, aren't they? You know, there's been many clubs that have followed our footsteps on that company. It's called Turf Hound. They do one of the best, and so thank you. We do 2 orders of golf balls for the range. We do 750 dozen. And we ordered our first one back in May, and we did get them in right before opening day in November. And we went ahead and reordered another 750 dozen right after that, the week after. And we're hoping to get those probably by the beginning of January. But we try to stay ahead of the curve, because we've got guys out there that are asking to see if you've got any golf balls used. So we do sell our used golf balls to other clubs. We do make some money off those. So not a lot, but it does that. Schedule of events for the season, as you notice in your calendars. We're even going to start this next on the December 7th. We start our first major, which is the Ladies Glen Eagles Cup. I think we have close to 70, Brian, 72 ladies. Great turnout so far. So we're starting on our major tournaments. And as Mr. Walk had mentioned in regards to posting scores, you start getting into these different tournaments. So let's make sure that our handicaps are accurate. And if you have any questions or have some trouble posting, please come in and see Jake. You like that, huh? No, we'll take care of you, whatever you need. We just want to make sure you do post your scores. With the new handicap committee, going into the handicap committee, it has helped a lot. They've done a great job. They actually look at the tee sheet, and they counter the tee sheet with the players who post their scores, so they get an idea. They'll come in and get a report, and you can see if somebody did play. And your starters, they have a highlight system that they do. If you played 9 or if you played 18, they highlight different colors, which gives you the idea of how they know. Also, if somebody does cancel, they do know that, and we work it in the shop from a credit standpoint. So we try to stay very closely with them on that. So, well, once again, as Mr. Wolf mentioned, the members have done very well. I reached out to a handful of clubs yesterday, And at 85% where we are right now, some of the clubs that I reached out to, they are happy with 70 to 75. So we're ahead of the game right there in just a few months of having a new handicap committee. So holidays, we actually added 3 more days for clinics, the 28th, 9th, and 30th of December, because we had talked to some of the members, and the following week seems to be where there'll be some of the kids in town. So we're going to have both weeks. We added 3 more days. You'll see that. The grandchild tournament will be, I think it's on the 23rd of December. We usually do a 2:30 shotgun. We usually have about 70 players for that. It's fun. Now you'll notice that the driving range will be closed until like 2 o'clock for the fitness. Fitness is doing a nice little thing for the kids on that day. So it'll be closed that day. We'll send out some information when it comes closer, but it'll be closed till 2. So then after that, we can warm up for the kids event. Our demo days, our demo days, remember when we used to have all of the vendors were here? It was great. We'd have 6, 7 vendors on the range. After COVID, they don't do that anymore. They like to have just fittings and you make appointments. And it works more on a one-on-one basis with the rep, with their fitter. It works very well. It's done very well for us. And how do we know? We look at it from a financial standpoint. And how do we do from a club sale as opposed to if we had 6 or 7 of the vendors. So it does very well. And we have those all on your master calendar. Say, for example, tomorrow we have Callaway. If anybody wants to come out, we had a couple of cancellations. Then the 16th, we have Cobra. The 17th, we have Tour Edge. February 10th, we have Callaway. February 11th, we have TaylorMade. And once again, all appointments are made online or just call the golf shop. And 9 and 9s, I like to discuss those. And does anybody have an idea of how many players we have for December 5th, which is this coming Sunday? Good 1, 220. We are a little bit, now this is where Brian and I bang heads, because Brian always says we have a max. So say it's at 210, we're at 240. and it's in 6s, it works pretty good. And our most we've had, we had 276 in a March that we did get everybody in. So our league play, once again, we have registered in the 18-hole ladies. We have over 126 ladies averaging that are registered for 18, averaging around 80 per week. The men on the list, we have 150 that are registered for our 18-hole men. Like I said, we had over 100 on this past Wednesday. We went over the 12-holers and the 9-holers and the 9-hole men. So once again, great turnouts. And I know there's always a question in regards to our golf carts. When you're kind of riding and like you're on a Bunket Bronco or something where the cart all of a sudden starts to move and then it stops. We've worked very closely with Club Car. We do have the new lithium batteries, which those golf carts are 300 pounds lighter, which does help for some traffic compaction on the golf course. But once again, when it's not running properly, it doesn't matter how light it is. They have a speed sensor unit in them that they have had many problems with Club Car. They have designed a new speed sensor that they are putting them in all of the facilities right now. And we have had over 100 carts changed. But what they're doing is they're taking out all of those and bringing in all and going to have them. So we'll probably do it one night. They'll come in here when everybody's in and we'll go through all the carts and they will install. They were supposed to do them in November. So I think they're on one of those boats out in California. They have, we're hoping in the next few weeks to have those done, to have all of them replaced. So we worked, like I said, Dave Kelly is our Club Car rep, and he's trying very hard to make sure that we get those replaced. We have, as you know, a thing called Project Gift here. Project Gift is something we started back 10 years ago. Project Gift is what Glen Eagles does, is we help a veteran's family in Delray that is in need and having very many challenges. And last year, Glen Eagles helped 5 families. And there's nothing better than to be with them, you know, when that happens, to see their faces. And I always like to tell the story that a couple years ago, we were down at City Hall, and this one family, when they got their gift, they were like, wow, this is fabulous. And we had chef-made dinners, turkeys, all the food. And they said, I think we can get this into our cooler and our fridge. Mr. Spina says, what do you mean? And he says, well, we just purchased a little fridge from Best Buy, like
One of these.
and they had 3 children. Craig says, you're telling me? He goes, yeah, but it's okay. We have a cooler next to it. Craig goes, hang on a minute. Mr. Spina makes a phone call and had them a fridge delivered the next day. So I'll never forget that. And then we're coming back with some of our beautiful golf videos. So make sure you look forward to those golf tips and make you laugh and give you some good ideas of what you need to do to play better. So golf department wants to say thank you. We look forward to a great season and we're ready. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach Domino. We'll get questions, any questions you have, we'll have at the end of the presentation. As I announced all the committee people, I was neglected, I didn't mention Jerry Glantz, good friend of all of ours of mine. He's in the hospital with quintuple bypass, but he's doing well. I just didn't want to forget to mention him, so he's an important part of the golf committee. What Joe forgot to mention is every year, this has been 10 or 11 years, we've had an appreciation day for the fire department and the police department. We've opened up our golf course on a Thursday afternoon, usually the last Thursday of October, to over 200 first responders. We play golf, they play golf here, we serve them lunch, they spend the afternoon, we usually have a clinic by another pro, a trick shot or whatever. And we haven't been able to do that for 2 years. We've had it scheduled every year. Because of COVID, we couldn't do it. Well, we are going to do it this year. It's going to be in April. I'm just letting you know because this is something that's dear to my heart. And I think that I know all the participants that come can't get here or whatever. They only talk about what it's like to be here for a day. And it's thank you to the membership. Thank you to our management staff for making this happen because I think it's a very important thing to have for the area. Before I introduce Jason, I just want to mention, again, the community maintenance facility where he lives. I was on the golf committee 7 years ago, and we did a tour of the facility that was there. And he showed us the equipment that he had that was worth millions of dollars that we were paying for and maintaining it. He had torn canopies over it. It was a 35-year-old facility that was here, and it was just atrocious. And over the next several years, we were able to replace it. Anybody that, we never got to do the ribbon cutting because of COVID, but anybody that has not seen that facility, now I know if you've seen it from the outside, you don't see it anymore. The landscaping is completely covered. Please make arrangements to go out there and see what you paid for and see the facility that his people have now to work in and enjoy, because before they were sitting out on the dirt, having a picnic lunch or whatever, one restroom for 50, 60, 70 employees. Anyway, I appreciate the membership and the support, and Jason's set now for the next 30-something years, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. So anyway, I want to introduce Jason Bagwell, the #1 superintendent in all of South Florida. And every year when we do budgets, and RSM is our auditing firm, and they break down the costs of food and beverage, golf course maintenance. How much does it cost to maintain a green in South Florida, actually in the state of Florida? But South Florida is very different than the rest of the state, and it's broken down. But I just want to tell you, as beautiful as our place is, we are substantially less expensive per green and per acreage than any other golf course in all of Florida. So not only is he doing a great job, but he's doing it for less than anybody else is. So appreciate that because he's the best there is.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, Mr. Walk. He is very passionate about the golf department and obviously golf course maintenance. Owe him a lot of thanks for everything he does for us. Community Maintenance Center, if anybody would like to have a tour of that, why, just email me and we'll certainly give you a nice tour of the facility because we're very proud of it. And I owe a lot of that to Mr. Walk because he kind of helped us push that through during his presidency, and it's a fabulous facility. We're very excited. The golf maintenance team is very excited about the new season coming up here. I know we're going to be very busy, and I feel that we have both of the golf courses in excellent playing condition, and we're ready for you. Two of my staff members weren't able to attend today. Declan Freswick is our Victory Golf Course Superintendent. He vacation, went to go see his family in North Carolina. Tim Boggs, Superintendent of the Legends Course, 30-year employee. Had a doctor's appointment this afternoon, so could not attend, but certainly appreciate all the work that they do because they make me look good on a daily basis. So want to give those guys gratitude. Like I said, the golf course maintenance team had a very busy summer, aerifying greens, aerifying tees, fairways, verticutting greens and tees and fairways, and sanding, all those things that golfers hate. And but it's things that we have to do to make sure that you've got a good playing surface through the season. As you know, we close the golf courses on 6-week intervals throughout the summertime. It's worked very successfully for the 11 years that I've been here. So while everybody, or most of everyone, is way up north, we're very busy on both the golf courses. And then we always have one golf course in excellent playing condition all summer long for those year-rounders that are here. And it's a great program, and I hope we never have to change that. It's truly a team effort from the golf maintenance staff and the members alike to make sure that our golf courses stay in the good condition that they're in. And what I mean by that is practicing proper golf course etiquette. You're going to hear me say this at every meeting that I attend. I say this at every single one of our golf and greens committee meetings. Because it's up to you to care for your course. I know you're passionate about the golf, and if you could be passionate about caring for the courses, I can guarantee you good playing conditions year-round. And some of the things that I'm talking about is, when you're driving your car, just obey the directional signs. Don't cut the corners on the signs. We have them usually within 30 yards, 20, 10 yards of the green, depending on the wear and tear. Don't cut those corners. Leave it up to the maintenance staff to determine where to wear and tear. And trust me, we're not trying to be mean and back those things up away from the green, but we want to make sure that you've got perfect playing conditions around the green because I think that's where all the scoring and everything happens. We want to keep it very nice there. Make sure that you fill your divots with the green sand provided in the carts. Usually you fill one divot, you could probably find another one close by to fill it as well. My staff does fill those for you in the fairways and tees also. I know Mr. Camino and his staff, the Rangers, in the slow afternoons, they'll go out and help with those as well. But please do not neglect a divot. And Mr. Walk, he alluded to, how long it takes. So I was going to kind of give you some facts. So a unfilled divot takes about 6 weeks to recover, and then a filled divot takes a little less than 3 weeks. So please put that green sand in those divots in the fairways and or tees. Very important, heard someone rave about the condition of our bunkers, and it's all about you as golfers, making sure that you're raking them properly. Don't walk from the high side down and or the high side back up. Number one, it's dangerous. Number two, you're pushing that sand down. And we try to keep it within 4 inches deep up on the face. And the reason we keep it that shallow is so you don't get a plug lie whenever you're hitting these high lob shots. So if you're stepping in that thin sand, you're bringing up the dirt and the rocks and stuff that the native ground beneath the sand. So just rake those bunkers, please, and stay off the high sides. Enter from the low side. It's safer, and it'll make your bunkers better. We ask that you fix your ball marks on the greens. You know, if your ball ends up on the back of the green, you need to go to the front of the green because that's where your ball hit more than most likely. And don't really worry about technique. You know, everybody wants to know, like, hey, what's the best way to do it? And there are some, you know, some scientific methods on how you do it. You poke it in and you press it forward. But all I ask is acknowledge that you did make a ball mark, tap it down with your foot, get down there with your ball mark, and just try to make a difference. Because unfixed ball mark, whenever we're mowing the greens in the morning, just so you know, we mow our greens at 100 thousandths of an inch, which is very, very. So when these ball marks are lifted up, we scalp them off in the mornings. And my men are mowing grass before daylight. We fix some of them before we mow, but we can't see them in the dark. So that's why it's important for you to fix your ball marks. Okay, watch for dragging your feet on the greens. Scuffing, you'll hear the golf department talking about it. Chickie's phenomenal. I don't know if he does it only when I'm there or he does it all the time. Okay. All right. Well, that's, I know that he does. Chickie every single morning. So, you know, he could probably do this report for me this evening. But yeah, just pick up your feet from. Don't drag your feet. Scuff marks. You're giving respect to the golfers behind you. I remember 7 years ago, I got a phone call from Pine Tree Golf Course yesterday saying, hey, are you having problems with the people scuffing their feet and all this? And I said, not so bad this year. We constantly try to educate the staff, making sure that they're not dragging their feet. But I remember 6 years ago, we had to do a program where we would buy your shoes, or we would give you, if you brought your shoes with the big spikes on it, which we don't like, we would take those and give you a very good discount on some flats in the pro shop. So hopefully we don't have to do that again unless you're in some shoes, Megan. But anyway, if you are a Blue Flight user, you are allowed to proceed through the cart signs in front of the greens. Just park up by the green stake that we have. Yeah. Blue, yeah, I've got green signs and blue stakes and yeah, so park your cart beside the blue stake that we have there, no closer to the green. You basically need to drive through the cart signs straight there. That'll give you a nice level area so you can walk to the green. And then once you leave there, please proceed to the cart path. You know, time and time again on victory number 3, carts will go to the top and then shoot down straight across the tees on number 4. Sometimes not knowing, but you know, members play here enough, they should know to go back to the cart path and swing all the way around. So, yeah, proper golf course etiquette would be appreciated. For current conditions of the golf courses, you know, visit channel 63 and or look on your Glen Eagles app. I will guarantee an update each morning by 6:30. What's that? Yeah, do we use channel 63 anymore? 66? Okay, forget that. Let's talk about the app. So we update this app every single morning before 6:30. You'll get whether it's cart path only, what holes are on cart path only, so you can cancel your tee time and or know which golf course that you can play. Okay, future improvements. Mr. Walk alluded to a few things, but I'm going to tell you what I have coming up in 2022 that the Budget and Finance approved for some capital projects. Number 1, we're going to be replacing the royal palm trees that are across the back of the driving range. They're beautiful trees. They do not like that area. They're getting tall. We've just struggled over the years to keep them alive. So we're going to put something very nice. We're going to put some Canary Island date palms or some Sylvesters or something like that. We haven't picked the species yet, but we'll be doing that during the first summer closure. For 2022, we also have a complete bunker renovation scheduled for the Legends Golf Course. So basically, we will core out all of the sand, inspect the drainage, repair the drainage, kind of get that, you know, over years, you lose the edge. They kind of keep creeping in. We do a pretty good job on trying to keep them edged out, but we're going to bring those back to the original and put brand new sand in there this summer, or next summer. Steve also stole my thunder on talking about the 2023 Victory Golf Course renovation, which we're very excited about. Hopefully that does go through. Kip Schulteis is our golf course architect that we like to use. He's the one that designed the Legends Golf Course. He's also helped me on many projects on the Victory Course, including a bunker renovation. He's very good at what he does. So the first thing we do, in December of this year, December, January, we'll be creating some focus groups, looking for 4 different groups, 1 9-hole men, 9-hole women, 18-hole men, 18-hole women. So 4 different focus groups of about 15 to 20 if we can get it. And you'll spend about an hour and a half with the architect in a room such as this, going over, what you'd like to see on a new course. So looking forward to that, and obviously we'll be giving you more information when time gets close. Yeah, we'll allude to a few questions. I'll just kind of finish it up, which basically I'm finished. It's truly a team effort to keep the conditions that we have here at Glen Eagles, and just thank you for the opportunity to be your director of golf course maintenance.
Thank you, Jason. I'm going to open the floor now. Mr. Spina will answer any of your questions that you have. And thank you so much for being here.
You probably have questions for Joe and Jason and the staff, but I'm also happy to answer any questions that you may have. So do me a favor, raise your hand, and then, yes.
Yeah, so, it's a 17-year-old golf course. It really doesn't have that wow factor that the Legends course. So amongst some of the infrastructure failing, yes, we are going to do a complete renovation, going to change the entire design, change the entire grass, change all the greens, might change the routing a little bit. But we've asked the architect to come up with an 18-hole championship golf course and overlay a par 3 within, and it's just going to be spectacular. New landscape. There is not a wire around these greens. We do edge them weekly, but I will say in 16 years they have gotten, or since 2006, they have gotten significantly smaller. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hi, when I joined the plan, an orientation before we were allowed to come on the golf course. I don't know if you still do it, but I would suggest that you start again, because I think a lot of the people who are not here and should be here are the ones you should tell that they should grade, they should do all the stuff that we already know about. So I would suggest an orientation.
No, we're actually, it's a very good point. We're actually working on a new one with IT right now to a little more modern carts, staff. And unfortunately, you're right that a lot of the new members, but we also have some existing members who kind of forget some of the guidelines that we need to adhere to, especially as many players as we have. So yes, we are working on a new video that will be able to attach that to the Glen Eagles app, and you can go to the website, you can pull it up. And we're working with IT that we could know, if we make it mandatory, that we could know if you clicked on it and find out who did or did not. So to get an idea who watches it. Backing, yes.
Professional maintenance, I see. Now with USDA here, of course, I tried to get some.
I have a question for Jason on golf course maintenance, on etiquette. With the USGA changing their rules where people leave the flags more often than we used to, I personally find a lot of the integrity of the crisp edges of the cups are damaged by guys reaching into the cup to pick out the ball. However, COVID, I saw a device that some clubs employ these up north, where you can pull the flag out and there's a small device at the bottom and pull the ball out. Or is it a matter of just making a rule that, you don't reach in, you pull the flag out and grab your ball, flag back? Because, I've seen these over the last couple rounds, a lot of holes where the edges of the edges of the hole are kind of, which affects, affect your putting, one can affect your putting one way or another. I don't know whether that's something that the members have seen. And
It's definitely a fact. I'm very surprised that the USGA has continue with that rule of leaving the flag in, because it is a problem. So it really doesn't affect professionals. It's more of the daily golfers. It's a problem. I mean, we can send an email to ask for everybody to please don't reach in, especially with a glove. Try to pull the flag and then pull it out. I don't really like those apparatuses. I mean, we talked about those during 2020, during the COVID, and when you could not touch a flag stick. But they are, it's an apparatus, so it is something else the ball could hit and be deflected one way or the other. So I would like to just try to send an email and educate the staff.
Good question.
I assume you don't like the little sponges that go in there, because I thought those were very useful. They lift the ball up. I've never seen one inhibit a putt, but you don't have to reach in as far. But my question is, the golf carts are the most comfortable golf carts I've ever lived in. A lot of courses now have these electronic GPS, and we probably don't need the GPS here because you're a member, but they are also useful for seeing if people are taking the golf carts to the wrong places. They stop you from putting the golf cart on a par 3 if you're not supposed to be there. There's a lot of usefulness. Is there any? I imagine it's very expensive to do that.
Yeah, nomination, Joe, just walk that.
Number one, in regards to the GPS systems. GPS systems with Club Car, they work with a company. It average is for just a standard GPS system, $38 a month per cart, up to like 55, which gives you a little bit different screen, low color. So if you look at that cost times 140 times 12, we're looking at about $62,000 a year just to lease a GPS system for our club. So, and then you have to get into a 4-year contract with them. So you're looking at about $250,000 that is gonna just to lease a standard GPS program at $38 a cart. In regards to, what was the other question? No, sponge. Yeah, we
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, you talked about the sponge. In regards to one of the programs in the GPS system is whereas we've all had them where the golf cart stops if you go in the wrong area. We had an incident one time when I worked at the Boca Resort, is the golf cart stopped and the gentleman was having a heart attack. He was with his wife. The golf cart stopped as he tried to cross the fairway, and it was a major issue. I've never been a big fan of that because this gentleman, it happened to him, and it wasn't a pretty sight at the end. So that's where the Rangers come into play and move and the signs that we use. So, but those are some good questions. Thank you. We'll circle back around to that in a minute.
So, as you know, I like to walk as much as I possibly can, and there are others who like to walk. We had 3 robots. They're now down to 2. I think there should be at least 4 in case a foursome would like to go walking together. But the other option is perhaps having push carts available to the membership. And I mean, a lot of places are doing it these days. And a lot of private courses are doing it. In any event, it's a thought that I wanted to throw out.
Yeah, I can answer that.
Question is in regards to the walk behind carts that we have. We have, well, like Mr. Goldberg said, we had 3. Those are all from Club Car. They are the company that represents them. We're down to 2. The only reason we're down to 2, we've had those 10 months, 11 months, and those have been at 0 charge. They have not charged us for those. And usually they'll drop them off for about 2 weeks. They are $98 per month to rent those, to lease those, and you have to sign a 4-year contract for each one of those. So by having Dave Kelly drop those off, and once again, a good relationship with him, he hasn't even had the request for other clubs to demo them. That's why we still have them. He's had one, and he actually has it to bring it back. So we'll still have the 3. He hasn't had anybody. He had Banyan had a request. They did buy one. The guy ended up lost it in the lake, and and then they had Maiku. Maiku had a couple. It hasn't been. You know who's doing it too? Is the Boca Resort is eliminating where the guests or members can have their own push carts. They don't want those. They're actually going to bring in 5 of them to see how those go. So, I agree with you with the walking. It works well with our wellness center. We have had some members that are using them. I know Mr. Slusky's wife, she likes to use it as well. We've had some guests who were here that loved it, but we haven't had the request for over 3, and I'm going to keep them as long as Dave lets us. So, yeah, and we do have, like Mr. Walk said, we have a 4-bagger, which is a unit that goes on the back of the driving cart that we can hook 4 golf bags onto one cart, and then people can, rotate drivers and passengers. So.
No, we've talked about it a number of times, and right now we're not allowing members to purchase their own cards. That's a conversation for a time when we have some more time.
Those of us that were here, I was really surprised to see the action. The only problem is, all it does is make noise.
Fans. We've tried, I think, 3 different kinds, and one has a benefit over another. One's high, you hit your head on it. One that's low works, but it makes more noise. Yeah, let me get Mr. Greenberg, Mr. Newman, and you're next.
I is probably one of the longest and one of the older members of the club. What I'm here to say is that I'd like to bring to your attention, a few years ago, Jack Nicholas made a suggestion to try to have everybody play from a tee box where they can get home in regulation. And I think because of the age of our population here, that we should try to encourage most of the older players to play forward a little bit, and that will also cut down on the length of your golf game. We can't get in less than 4.5 hours, so let's try to do something about that.
Thank you, Mr. I'm just gonna kind of touch base on that for Mr. Greenberg. What the golf committee has done, which they did over a year and a half ago, is now if you are the age of 80 and your handicap exceeds 100, you can play the green tees. And if you are 90, you can play any tee you want. But we did make it, they can play the silver if you're 90. They participate in the men's leagues, and this is things that we've done. Unfortunately, that's as far as we go. We go to the silver. But the men do play. We've had quite a few of them that do participate in the league play, that they moved up with the age and handicap exceeds 100. We have some of the fellow clubs that do the same.
The fans are very useful because in the South County League, we happen to go to some other clubs, and some of them have no fans. And you play 18 holes in the summer. Let me tell you, the fans are missed. We should keep having the fans, even though, yes, they make some noise, but they blow air and they keep bugs away, by the way. That's the other thing. I'm all for the fans.
Just to touch base on that too, the fans that we used to have, the same fans on the previous fleet of carts that we had, They were on a 2-year program that after that you had to pay to have the labor taken care of. They break down because what happens, if you notice on the top of the fan, it has the vents. So if water gets in those, they have an issue with those. Well, negotiations with Plug Car, those fans are warranted through the life of our lease, so over 4 years. So when it's down, they'll come and put a brand new one in. Other questions?
Thank you. I was thinking as a suggestion, 12 Legends is obviously our signature hole. And I think a fountain in that plate would be a nice thing for the signature hole. Make it much more impressive. That was just a suggestion. The other thing I wanted to suggest is that the locker room, the men's locker room, has absolutely no golf paraphernalia on the walls. And I've never belonged to a golf club that didn't have golf things in the men's locker room. You know, I went to a club not long ago that had picture frames where members brought their cards, their golf cards, and they placed them in picture frames. So everybody saw where, you know, the golfers show their home course. But just certain paraphernalia things would be nice in the locker room.
Yes.
Joe, just wondering now, we've made accommodations for the 80 and 90-year-old men, but where do we put the 80 and 90-year-old women that are still playing?
Well, it's kind of like when I want to touch base on this one, Mr. Speed. It's kind of like when we were doing budget and finance. And when we were budget and finance, I had a gentleman ask the question, why is the ladies 18 holders getting some more money? And Mr. Speed said, because they asked for it. So, it's not only no, but if the ladies want to, if they find an issue where it becomes a problem, then let's let the LGA, we put it together and put it to vote. And it's definitely something that it's worked very well for about a dozen of the men, you know, so, yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah, if you look at, I'm sorry, the Legends, we moved that tee up for the ladies by 50 yards, you know, which did make a difference as well.
Yeah, this is an annual meeting. It's not the only venue. Please come talk to us. So Joe doesn't make comments like he just did about the ladies' member guests. But I just want to comment, you know, this year is on the heels of almost 2 years where we've given up a lot. So I want to say this the right way. If there's certain things we can do for you to make this a really, really special year and on, let us know. Let us know. Come talk to us. This is not the only venue, obviously. Just talk to a committee member, come to Joe. My office is always open. Emails, phone calls, by all means. Some good questions. But I'd like to open it. Is there any additional questions? If not, I want to thank you for your support. I look forward to an unbelievable year. Thank you.